Alright, welcome back to this Heavy Athletics Fantastic Friday edition of the SportsMax Zone. Next Tuesday, the most anticipated high school athletics event on this side of the world, the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships, will get out the blocks at the newly refurbished track at the National Stadium in Kingston. Now, a major part of the fun is trying to predict the winners. There's even an official CHAMPS book with event-by-event breakdowns and predictions for the final girls and boys points standings. Well, Ricardo Chambers has been doing his own predictions since 2010, and he's done quite a bit of work this year in trying to get an understanding of where the titles are going in 2025. So, Ricardo, first of all, how many times did you get it wrong? That's where I want to start.
That's a good place to start, Mariah. So quite a few, but I'll tell you those instances. So I got it wrong in 2015. I predicted Kingston College to win and Calabar won. I got it wrong in 2017. I predicted Kingston College to win again and Calabar won. In 2019, I got it wrong. I predicted Calabar to win, and Kingston College finally won.
What?
So those 3 years I got it wrong. 2017 though was a special year, because although I got the winner wrong in 2017, I still feel as if I got it right. So I was bang on with the numbers for Calabar. Everybody had Kingston College somewhere about 350 points or better, and Calabar somewhere between 310 and 320. I think I had Calabar at 317, and that's where about they ended up. It was Kingston College who came back to the field in 2017. They were the ones who underperformed significantly, and Calabar performed brilliantly, pretty much maximized on the talent that they had, and they won. I feel similarly about 2015 as well, that again KC had the team to win, but they just didn't deliver over the 5 days. And then, well, in 2019, I guess after you get it wrong 2015 and 2017, you go, you know what, let's do it the other way around this time, because Calabar were going, I think, for what, 8 straight at the time. So yeah, those are the occasions I've gotten it wrong. The proudest ones for me, though, was when I predicted Wolmer's to win the boys' title in 2010,
Yeah.
and Jamaica College to win the boys' title in 2011.
Okay.
Because those two were extremely difficult. On the girls' side, I've only gotten it wrong twice, when Heidel won for the first time a couple of years ago, and when Homewood Technical beat Edwin Allen just after Edwin Allen had won their first title. But it's generally easier on the girls' side, to be honest.
What has been your most recent win? Was it last year?
Yeah, well, that wasn't difficult.
Okay. All right. So can we see what he got, or you want to ask him
Go
something
ahead.
before? Because I'm eager to see.
No, you're going to ask something,
Yeah.
Lance.
Now, I just want to know how much work and what it entails for you to allot points to all these different events. I know that you go to a lot of the development meets on the weekends, and that is where you will gather a lot of the information that you need to assess and analyze the what is likely to happen on the CHAMPS platform.
Yeah, so you are talking about close to 100 events across girls and boys, and you have different classes, 4 classes for the girls, 3 classes for the boys, plus open sections for both genders. So you are talking about event by event breakdown, down to the final 8, allotting points that way to then arrive at a conclusion as to what is likely to happen. So it is a tremendous amount of work, and you're talking about looking at the statistics in terms of what athletes have done this season, but in many cases you have to take into consideration what some athletes have done in previous seasons as well. And also you have to be at the meets to see how they have delivered those performances, because you'll have athletes who will run slower times, but they don't go all out. you have to take all of that into consideration, and it's by seeing the races that will allow you to make those determinations. So it really is a lot of work, and it really does take a lot of time, and especially to do it for boys and girls as well. Lots of late nights in terms of sleep. And the other part of it, so a lot of people, so, you know, as soon as it touches January, Lance and Mariah, everybody is asking who is going to win champs.
Yes.
I always say it is almost impossible to predict champs in January or February, simply because there are so many things that can happen over a 3-month period. Now, a significant part of that is athletes getting injured.
That's right.
And teams not having certain athletes that they thought they would have had.
Yeah.
So I am sure in January, most people would have been scoring someone like a Nicole Bramwell of Calabar, who broke Usain Bolt's under-17 record at Carifta last year in the 400 meters.
But he got hurt a couple of weeks ago.
He got hurt at the Gibson Cook relays.
Yeah.
He hasn't competed since, and there is uncertainty as to whether he is going to compete any at all. Someone like a Taj Marquez White of Kingston College, who hadn't competed last year and only started his season at the Carifta Trials, you wouldn't have been able to score him until you saw him. Well, he started his season at the Gibson McCook Relays, but his first individual event was at Carifta Trials. So sometimes you have to wait until the final minute and day and so on before you make those final predictions. I wish I had a few more days, but we've got to go today.
All right, let's see what you got.
All right, let's start with the girls, because I think this was the easier of the two. And I'll give you the top three. There it is. Homewood Technical, who I think are very dangerous this season, especially in the upper classes, classes 1 and 2, a little bit weak in the lower classes. Heidel, 250, so I have 242 for Homewood Technical, 250 for Heidel, and Edwin Allen comfortable at 295. I will say, though, because Edwin Allen have a history on the girls' side of going into champs with pretty big cushions, and then the race becomes close because so often they drop a lot of points. I don't know if it is a situation of complacency or not. But yes, maybe after losing to Heidel a couple seasons ago, that is out of their system now, and they'll be able to have close to a flawless champs. But I would be extremely surprised if Edwin Allen didn't win girls champs for 2025. So that's the easy one. Now on the boys side, before I show the numbers, I want to say I believe there's a legitimate path to victory for the top three teams on the boys' side: Jamaica College, Calabar, and Kingston College, in no particular order. I think it is going to be a race that all three teams will be in at the start of the final day, and maybe even deep into the final day. That's how close I think this race is going to be. There is not a lot, in my estimation, separating these teams. Now, if for any reason any of the teams is unable to deliver at the level that the talent they have suggests, or if they have last-minute injuries that we are unaware of, then of course things can always change. But as it is now, this is the way I have it. Ta-da-da-da, let's go! Top three on the boys' side: Jamaica College, 246 for third, Calabar 270 for second, and Kingston College 287. So as I have it, Kingston College 17 points clear of Calabar, Jamaica College 246 points. There's something I want to point out quickly, because I know there are a lot of individuals who are going to say, I thought Jamaica College would be closer. Where for me, Jamaica College has fallen behind on paper, and you have to say that, on paper, and almost unbelievably, is in the field events in Class 2. Okay. I think I scored them just 1 point across long jump, triple jump, high jump, shot put, discus, Class 2, plus the high jump and the long jump in Class 3. the numbers there extremely low for them, and it is almost unbelievable that for a school who has such an amazing tradition, especially in the jumps, would be so poor, at least based on my numbers, in those areas. So that's been a significant letdown for them. Calabar are super strong in the sprints and the hurdles right across the board, and that's where they are expecting to pick up a bunch of their points. And KC are just really good across the board. And on paper, for me, they have a few 1-2s that, whenever it gets close, will help them to pull away and put pressure on the rest of the teams if they can execute those 1-2s. One of those will be the final event on Thursday, which is day 2, the Class 1 boys 400 meters, where they have Marcinia Rose and Taj Marquez White. And if they can get that 1-2, that's going to be massive going into Friday.
Quickly, in a manner of speaking, Ricardo, this is akin to like when pollsters do their polling, and they would usually report at the same time that there is a margin of error of maybe 2% or 3%.
You want to know what my margin of error is?
Do you have any such contingencies in your stats?
Say it now or forever hold your peace.
The margin of error has been worked into the final numbers.
Okay.
and I cannot tell you how, but I do have a way of working the margin of error into the final numbers, because there are some intangibles that the pure numbers don't always tell you. And I think especially this time around, because I've never done a prediction where it is as close as it is on the boys' side. And although the numbers, you look at the numbers there, I think those numbers could easily turn around in any direction. And part of the reason for that, I have never seen a boys' champs this competitive on paper in all the time that I've been trying to predict. Part of why that is the case is every single event is difficult. In the past, there are many events where you know first, second, third, and fourth, and the others are easy to slot in. There are so many events where you have 14, 15 quality people and you don't know who is going to be in the final. The Class 1 boys 400 is one. The Class 1 boys 200 meters is another of those events. It is very, very difficult, because every event in and of itself is difficult to predict.
I get you.
Okay, well, we're up on a break. So, team, we're going to have to go to that break. I have Zone Update 2 next.